Hello lovelies, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are returning. Now today I had a viewer request from one of you lovely lot asking what would I pair with the Barbara Walker Tarot. Now I had to take pause with this because, to be honest, I tend to use the Barbara Walker Tarot by itself, and it's one of the few decks that I tend to not pair. The reason being that it's one of my adventure tarot decks. It comes out for spirit readings, to possible places where there might be a soul story, so haunted places. So it tends not to be one I work with on the desk with other decks. So for that reason I was a bit stumped, but then I was really curious. So rather than just message this person back, why not do a video? So I came straight home from the school run after getting the message, and I am home now, and I just grabbed my Barbara Walker out, and I've grabbed a number of decks, a number of oracles, just to see what would go. So I looked at my collection of oracles and just grabbed the possibilities. So these might not all work, but why don't we find out together? So the first oracle that jumped into my mind when this question was posed was the Tantric Dakini oracle. This is by Nick Douglas and Penny Slinger. It is a mass market oracle. In fact, I think all of these that I've picked are mass market oracles. Picked this one because the Barbara Walker is very intense, as anybody that's worked with the Barbara Walker will know. It's a really intense tarot. It's brilliant because you've got keywords, you've got lots of different myths and mythology to pull from. It's really great imagery to pull from. It's a really great tarot, especially for what I use it for, because if there's any soul communication to have, there's lots to be drawn on from the actual cards itself. And also this one, the imagery, there's a lot going on as well, and you've also got keywords, and you've got a mirror in the white border as well. So it is one that immediately jumped to mind, and immediately I look for synchronicities. That we've got the skull here, we've got the skull here. So yeah, I think the styles of these two, something about the intensity. Look, you've got these circles here mirroring the flowers here, and like a single guy working, and the Merlin here, the wizard. So loads of synchronicities. So I do like these, and like the strength of this image with the strength of this image. This was the only oracle I suggested in the message. I said I don't pair it with anything, however the Tantric Dakini may go. And yeah, look at this. You've got the building here, and then the building here. You've got flames here, you've got a sort of lava here coming out of the top of like a volcano, and you've got the lava coming out the funnel here. Loads and loads and loads of synchronicities. So that's my first pick. I just think there might be something in these. So I mean, look at this mushroom image with the figure there surrounded by ice as well. Yeah, what do you guys think? Oh wow, look, you've got the rose window here with the circle here, and the figure here. Is it like a Buddha type figure with a single figure here holding a flower as well? Loads and loads and loads of synchronicities. The circle and the circle there. This is what I look for when I look to pair. So that is the Barbara Walker with the Tantric Dakini. That's a real goodie. That's really interesting. That combination may bring me to my desk with the Barbara Walker, which will be a change for me. The next one is the soul cards. So this is soul cards 1, but I think any soul cards may possibly work, although the style is different and the layout of the card is different this time. It's got the similar aspect as the as the Barbara Walker in the fact that there's so much to draw from, in the fact that it's intuition, there's no meanings laid out in here. And I think an intuitive deck can also lend itself beautifully with the way the Barbara Walker works. At least for me, it kind of works by just allowing all possibilities. There's just so much to pull from. I mean, here immediately you've got the angel calling to the dead, and you've got this creature coming down into the earth to whisper something there. I think that is an amazing coincidence there. Yeah, so again, I think this is just one that would allow for, you know, real intuitive hits with the expanse of information that you can pull from the Barbara Walker, and how open for intuition this card is as well. So look at this, over the mound with the flower and over the mound with the flower. That's really wonderful. So yeah, I think the way that these two decks could work together, although they are different styles, they would work lovely. So that's soul card. Similar to the Tantric Dakini, we've got this one, the power deck, the cards of wisdom. Now this is by Lynn V. Andrews, artwork by Rob Shoughton. It is Beyond Words Publishing, and this, I think, has got a little bit of a similar vibe to the Tantric Dakini. It's really quite unusual. It's collage again, but on the back of these collage cards, not only have you got keywords, but you've got like quite an in-depth meaning. You've got the white borders again, which don't stay white, they take on different colours, but you've got that bordered edge. And I just thought that there is something about, I suppose it's the oddness of the power deck, it matches something of the oddness of the Barbara Walker. You do have horizontal cards in this deck, so that might be an issue if you don't like working with the horizontal cards. I'm not showing them because I still want it to fit in frame, so I am flipping through to find the vertical cards here. But can you see that that looks like a storyline to me? That looks like something that you could really find the story within. So I think that the power deck could be a possible. What do you guys think? I think stylistically that could work. Now, like I said, I haven't worked with any of these together. The Barbara Walker, it's literally been a standalone deck for me, one of my very few, if not, it may possibly be my only standalone deck, which hints at the power of the deck itself. But I think that is really interesting as well. Yeah, really interesting. So that is the power deck, cards of wisdom. Okay, thinking about the strength in its strangeness, shall we say, it also made me think of Any Oracle by Cheryl Yambrack Rose. And I don't mean strength in its strangeness as a put down. I am a very big fan of Cheryl Yambrack Rose, but her decks they're visionary and they're channeled art. So I think the very nature of the way these decks are made, they do come with an inherent strangeness. Now this is the old version of, which one is this one? This is the old version of Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. a lot of Cheryl's decks now are available. Is it Blue Angel, I think, are doing them? The modern ones are more Oracle shaped, Blue Angel Oracle shaped. They don't have the borders on, so they're borderless, the ones are currently in print. But I thought again that these might work together in that kind of strangeness of them. And immediately, I mean, I love those 3 cards together. So again, there would be an awful lot to pull on here. I wouldn't want to, knowing both of these decks well, I wouldn't want to say pull 6 or 7 tarot cards and do a big reading with these 2. I don't think I would want to go much more than say 4 cards with 1 oracle card, because it's different to read. I think it's more like mining the cards for the information, if you will, when you're using decks like this. So I would keep personally spreads to minimal cards if I'm working with decks like this. I love the white against the red. Can you see the synchronicity there? Love that. So this is a definite possibility. If I was pairing these, definitely be giving this pairing a run for its money, and just to see what stories I could pull out of them. So that is the Barbara Walker with a Cheryl Yambrack Rose Oracle. Now honestly, I think one of the biggest energies of the Barbara Walker is how witchy it feels. It really does feel like a witch's tarot. So how about we pull out the witch's oracle as well? Now I know without even looking that I think the layout of the card, probably the colour palette, white borders, might work really well. Look, immediately, look, you've got the white borders mirroring, you've got the keywords, and it is, I think we're going to find that this is a really good combo. There's that witchy feel about both of them. The colour palette is a match. I thought it might be. And the style to a certain extent. I think it does make a difference as well when the layout kind of matches. I think there would be so much to work with these 2. In fact, the Witch's Oracle, I love it, but it often doesn't get enough love for me, and I don't know why. It's overlooked. But seeing these 2 together, I think this is my favourite so far. And I've just noticed that we've got the lantern here and the candle there. Love that. So I definitely think that this could be a fantastic pairing. Love it. So you've got all the corners and all the corners and all the piercings of the swords there. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And we've got the mirroring there, and then the cross of the swords there. Just fabulous. And then the circles, and then this huge figure here. Oh, I love it. So that is the Witch's Oracle with the Barbara Walker. I think that's a favourite for me so far. Another witchy oracle, if we're thinking about like that witch vibe, how about the Oracle of the Witch? Reclaim Your Birthright. This is a Rockpool deck. This is by Flavia Kate Peters and Barbara Micklejohn Free. So this is one as well in my collection that I haven't really found a place for it yet in my practice. It's a limited colour palette deck. It's the red and the black and the white, and I'm immediately thinking why has it not dawned on me to put this with the Phantom Wise, the Night Circus deck? Oh my goodness me. Okay, I think I've just found another pairing inadvertently. But there are flashes of red in the Barbara Walker. Look, you see it here and you see it here. It might be that this deck might draw your attention to where the red is and give you a message. That might be one way of working with it. Again, you've got keywords on the Oracle, which I think is really useful. So see here, you've got the red in the sunset, so it could be a new dawn, the safety of a new dawn, the safety of a new dawn, and then the King of Cups, we've got no red in that one. Of course, that's a card with no red. And a red carpet, the importance of, look at the new dawn. I don't know, it could be a way of reading it. Of course, you don't necessarily have to look for where the red is, but it just jumped into my mind because red is the accent colour. It might be a way of looking for where the accent colour lands. But I do like these two together. I don't think I like these two as much as the Witch's Oracle, but this is a definite possibility. So look, you've got the tools of the practice, the tools on the Magician's table, a crystal circle, and then the vessels used to pour. If I poured this reading, I'd be taking the message plus looking to the tools of my practice. And I love the fact that this is poppets, and then this figure here almost looks so tiny, it's a poppet in itself. With the Queen of Cups, now I would read that as where are your emotions making you somebody's plaything. That's how I would read that reading. Yeah, I love this, I really do. So this one, I mean, look at this, like the boundaries. He looks like he's almost up against this tree about to defend himself, and it's talisman and cruelty, and then you've got the blade about to drop here with challenge. Really clear messages. So I do like the way that these two look together as well. So that is the Barbara Walker paired with the Oracle of the Witch. So because I find some of this imagery quite odd, how about pairing it with the Circus Oracle? Because for me, I think circus imagery in both tarot and oracle can sometimes have, I think, quite a sinister vibe to it for me with circuses. And the Divine Circus Oracle by Lana Fairchild, I don't know, because of that sinister element, I thought that they might work. I mean, this isn't circus imagery at all, but this is more a vibe thing. Now again, this is the old version, which is bordered. I know the new version isn't shiny cardstock, it's matte and it's non-bordered, so bear that in mind if you like this combination a lot. Like if you were to purchase this oracle, and I'm not trying to make you purchase decks, but if you loved it and you did, it wouldn't be this version you were getting. So I feel I need to say that. And I love that brilliant Virgin with the Ace of Wands and Power and the Empress. That is a mighty hit of female power going on there. So I mean, this doesn't have the keywords on, so I would be reliant on the guidebook here, I think. But there's definitely a vibe going on here, although again, different subject matters, different styles of art, aesthetically different, but I think rich in colour, rich in imagery, that helps pull it together, and rich in story. I'm certain that the Alana Fairchild's guidebook could add so much into these two working as a pairing. Look, the Lovers with cherry on the top. So I suppose they're titles really more than keywords, but that title immediately gave me a hit there with the Eight of Cups. Yeah, I could use these two together. So I think the richness of these two would pull these two together for me. Yeah, I do like these two together as well. So this is another possibility. This was matching with vibe, but I think there's enough surface level features of richness to make them work aesthetically as well, which I think is important some of the time too. Not all the time, but a lot of the time that's, I think, important too. So if we're thinking about like a vibe check, this deck, it's incredibly powerful to work with. I wouldn't take just any deck into a situation where I'm trying to find a soul story or to connect with a spirit. So it's powerful, and I immediately thought of my Morrigan decks then for that sort of power. So how about the Urban Crow Oracle, which is one that I do use in my Morrigan practice. Again, I suppose this is another vibe check. It's that that powerful energy as well. So these are the backs, and again this is mass market, and again this has keywords that you can pull on. So I thought that these might work. Oh my gosh, look at those three together. That's really lovely. I love those three. It's pulling out a focus on a different aspect of the colour palette of the Barbara Walker, which I think is wonderful. The Hermit with direction, love that. So that would immediately give me the hit of to look inside, to go inside yourself, not to look for anything external, and then I would take the rest of the reading for the rest of the message. Oh my gosh. And the Tower card, or the House of God with grief. So literally you've got the bird after the fall, as it were. And then the Fall of Coins here. Gosh, romance with illusion and failure. I didn't comment on that, guys. Don't get me started. I think these would work really well. Yeah, I like these. I think it pulls out something different from the Barbara Walker, and I like them. I think that could be a definite match too. And then for my final deck that I pulled out the Wild Goddess Oracle. This is by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. It's another oracle that I don't see get a lot of love online. I don't see it very often. When you open that humongous box, you're greeted with a teeny tiny box in the middle, so that's slightly different. So what you've got on here, you've got lots of different archetype titles on the back with a piece of advice. So this would be a way of working with the Barbara Walker with a archetype deck, which I think might be a really interesting way. Immediately I love the mirroring of the size of the cards, and I like the fact that this is black edged and this is white edged. You've also got the archetype on the front, which would almost act as a keyword, and I think that those look pretty stunning as well. I mean, on this, the hit I immediately get from this is the light and the twist of light there, and the light from the window. So working with a more archetype deck, I mean, there's loads of archetype decks, aren't there? I'm going to grab my other archetype deck as well, just to see how how that might work. I mean, this could be a way of working with the Barbara Walker where you get the message from the Barbara Walker, and then this gives you an archetype of how to embody that message. That might be a really interesting way of working with the Barbara Walker. Like the Prince of Swords with the Devil, there's the message, but we're going to turn that into a practical aspect in our lives through the archetype of the Dancer. Brilliant. And like the Queen of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles, but we're going to bring that to fruition in our lives practically through the Manifestor archetype. Okay, do you see how this might work? And then the Seven of Cups with the Hierophant, but we're going to embody that as the Siren. Oh my gosh, I really like these together. There is something about these, I think, that it just works. Like the Resolute, how could we play out the Queen of Cups and the Four of Wands as the Resolute? Brilliant. Yeah, so for me this is a absolute, yeah, this, I'm going to work with these two together. Like the Magician and Judgment played out as the Survivor. I love it. And the Emperor with the Queen of Swords played out as the Sage. The Seven of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles played out as the Witch. Oh, so that for me, the Wild Goddess Oracle is just brilliant combination of decks. Okay, that worked so well. I had to go and grab my only other archetype deck, which is the Carolyn Myss archetype cards. I really like that idea of pulling a reading, then using an archetype deck to play out that reading, like to manifest it in your life, to put it into something practical, like advice for how to. Because I think often we can pull a reading and it tells us like some advice or things we need to know, but then how to implement it or to integrate it into your life. I think sometimes for me personally, I struggle on the how to, and then I end up, if I can't find a way to do that, going back to the tarot for the same reasons over and over again. So this might be a nice way of using your archetype decks. So this, you can see how chunky this is. There are so many cards in this Carolyn Myss deck. I don't even know whether this is still available, come to think of it. I don't know. So if it isn't, guys, I haven't checked. I am sorry if you're seeing it and you love it and it's not available. But if you do have this deck, or if it is still available, let's just see. So Death and the Two of Swords played out as the Advocate, and the Chariot and the Princess of Cups played out as the Virgin, or the Rebel to play out the King of Cups and the Sun. See, it puts a different slant on it, doesn't it? And the Princess of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups to play out as the Exorcist, and the Eight of Wands and the Princess of Swords to play out as the Healer. Wow. So again, that is like a really interesting possible for if you're trying to find a way to pair the Barbara Walker. I mean, it might be a nice way of pairing the Barbara Walker, because like I say, it is so powerful and intense to read with, and it can take a while to pull the meaning out of the Barbara Walker, like a clear meaning, that it might be a lot to pair another message in with it. I think that again is possibly one of the reasons why the Barbara Walker for me isn't a pairing deck. But to do it like this, where the Oracle becomes like advice on how to play out the message, that I like. That I really like. Look at that, the Magician, Judgment with Victim. Oh my gosh, look at this combo, you can't even make it up. The Queen of Cups with Don Juan and the Four of Wands. Using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. With the Four of Wands and the Queen of Cups, guys. Come on. That's amazing. Couldn't even make it up. And Guide with the Hierophant. Do you think these decks are trying to tell us something? They're saying, yep, us. Put us together. Incredible. So, there you go. Those are some ideas, guys. I hope that was helpful. It was fun to do a viewer request, and I don't know, it just feels nice to answer some questions in video format. So I don't normally do this. I don't normally ask for video requests because I normally have so many ideas in my head buzzing around that that I've got too many videos to make already. But this was just really fun. So if any of you have any other video requests that you would like me to do, then leave me a comment, guys. It's just a nice way to build community, isn't it, to do some requests. So I hope that was useful, all the different ways you could pair the Barbara Walker. I loved that last one. I love the archetype decks with it, so I think any archetype deck could be used for this. Other favourites, what other favourites were there? I think the Wild Goddess Oracle, loved that one with it, and I think loved the Witch's Oracle for witchy vibes, and just straight reading it as Oracle with tarot, I think my favourite was the Tantric Dakini. So guys, I hope that helped. I'll list everything I spoke about in the description box. Don't forget, if you've got any requests, them in the comments box, and I'll see you next time. Bye.